Hello, I am Dana Smithers, and I'm here today with,
Helena Jenikin,
and together we are the
the
Emotion
Motion Code
Code Divas.
Divas.
So we are going to have a fun show. We're actually doing this one. Some of you may have noticed that we had some technical difficulties last time, but we've gotten that sorted out with working with Blue Jeans. They've been just great about that. So the purpose of the Motion Code Divas show is that our intention is to inspire you, to educate you, and also we will be doing live demos, so we will heal and release your trapped emotions. So as we, get the program, get news out there, start asking people to share this live, then other people will start to see us. And we will do emotion code sessions for someone that steps up that has something going on. However, if you're watching, you may be somebody who doesn't actually know what emotion code session looks like, and we're going to walk them through that. So just before we get going, I would like to give a shout out to my mentor, Michael Lozier. And Michael, he has been in my life for many, many years now. I became a certified law of attraction trainer through Michael, and also, I guess it's almost a couple of years ago, Michael and I were talking about, we'd heard about the emotion code, and he wanted to find someone to help him with his hip, that he'd gone to chiropractor and, seemed like hundreds of appointments he's had, but nothing could help him. So he contacted John Inverarity, and John is a emotion code and body code practitioner, and John helped Michael with that. Michael got interested in learning the emotion code, and then I got interested in learning the emotion code, and then Helena got interested in learning the emotion code. So we are both certified emotion code practitioners. But I just wanted to give that shout out. And also, if you're watching, Michael has a Friday Hangout show on Facebook Live at 9 o'clock every Friday. And I've been very fortunate to be on that show for a couple of years. And Michael and John decided to do a breakaway show called the Emotion Code Bros. And they are happening on Saturdays on Facebook Live. And I thought, well, you know what? If they can be the emotion code bros, then I'm going to create an emotion code diva show. And so Helena stepped up, which was great. And Helena, tell the audience today what our topic is. So we will be having kind of a monthly theme, but also each week we'll let you know what we're talking about. So
Sure. So our topic for today is staying healthy, the roles that the law of attraction, hypnosis, and the emotion code play in keeping us healthy. That's our mind, body, and spirit connection. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the subconscious mind as well. Hey, Dana, I'm just going to give another shout out, and that's to, the
ah,
back cover. Dr. Bradley Nelson. He has this
yes.
amazing book, The Emotion Code, and it's just a fantastic read. It's an easy read, and it's full of information and case studies. It's really inspiring.
Yeah. So you can learn how to do the emotion code on your own. And, Helena and all of us who are part of this great new healthy way of non-invasive way of offering a healing technique, healing the trapped emotions that we have. You can get the book and you can look at it yourself, and you can even find out which muscle testing method is the best one for you. But Helene and I will talk about the process and actually what we use. So I'll just talk a little bit about the law of attraction, and Helena is going to talk about her specialty, which is hypnosis. So as a law of attraction trainer, I know, and I think most of you know, that this relationship, I talk about it all the time, but it's called the words result relationship. So everything starts with our words. And from those words, we're going to form some thoughts. And these thoughts are where we hold our beliefs. This is our mindset, hangs out here. And then from these thoughts, we move into, from the thoughts, they emit a mood, a feeling, or a vibe. And that vibe gives us our result. And the only two vibes that are happening in the world are either one that's negative And negative could be you're feeling angry, depressed, lonely. In terms of staying healthy, maybe you're telling yourself that you'll never release that weight, or you don't like your body image, or something like that. But what we want to do with the law of attraction, and part of this show, is to educate you, to get you kind of paying attention to what are you saying? What are you saying to yourself about yourself? So if you're giving off a positive vibe and it has to do with health, then you're looking at eating nutritional foods. And a word track that we love to use in the law of attraction is I am in the process of. So if you're in the process of losing weight and releasing weight, Helena is going to talk about that. But even from a law of attraction perspective, be very kind and gentle to yourself with what you're saying. So I am in the process of eating better foods. I'm in the process of getting more exercise. And even if exercise for you means, just going for a walk every day, that's really good idea. But it's all about what you're saying to yourself. So that's going to really affect what you attract. And the law of attraction only has two words for its job description. And Helena, I think you know what this is. So
Match.
Yeah.
Match vibration.
That's right. That's the only job it has. So if you're, giving off some positive vibes, then you're going to attract people that have positive vibes, and you're going to attract positive things in your life. So that's a little bit about the law of attraction. But now I'm going to ask Helena to talk to us about hypnosis and the subconscious mind, and then we'll move into the emotion code.
Excellent. Thank you, Dana. Yes, I'm a certified hypnotherapist, and I work with people with lots of different issues. Weight release is one of them. And I like, actually, just a little touch point there, Dana, how you're saying, I'm in the process of. I teach my clients to use this phrase, I'm in the process of becoming lighter and lighter, thinner and thinner. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing to say to yourself when you're looking yourself in the mirror. But now I want to talk to you about a little bit about hypnosis and the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. I have a diagram here of an iceberg. Now, many of you know that the tip of the iceberg is what we can see, is what we're aware of. And that's about 10% of the iceberg. But about 90% of the iceberg is below water. That's what we can't see and what we're not quite aware of. But it plays a very important role. So if we take this diagram and we pretend that this is our conscious mind it makes up about 10% of our mind, and our subconscious mind is about 90% of our mind. Now, our conscious mind is what we think we're using each and every day. So when I'm seeing a smoker, it's the smoker that says, I don't want a cigarette, but yet they find themselves having a cigarette. What is going on? I want to quit. I don't want a cigarette. And they find themselves having a cigarette. What's going on? Well, consciously, they know they want to quit. But something is going on down below that is not allowing them to create the change that they want. The subconscious part of the mind is the part of the mind that holds our beliefs, our imagination, our habits, our all of our memories, Dana. It's fascinating. Mm-hmm. When I do hypnosis with a person and they go into trance and then we're able to access the subconscious part of the mind, that's when we find out what is really going on. And
that's where all the trapped emotions are as well,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. And one thing that made it so interesting about the emotion code for me was that in hypnosis and hypnotherapy, we use the emotion that the person comes in with, and we trace it back to the initial sensitizing event. And it's emotional. Emotions, emotions, emotions.
All right. And that's a perfect segue into our emotion code with Dr. Brad and the key areas that we use, and which are in the book as well. But if we're having a session, and we'll be using these as we do all of these live as well. So Helena, the first one we're going to talk about, so let's say we're talking about staying healthy and somebody's come to us and said, I've got food cravings. I can't seem to exercise on a regular basis. I'm feeling so stressed out. So the first question that we're going to ask and how we do this is working with them, we are going to ask for their permission.
Permission. That's right, Dana. We only can work with people that give us their permission. It's not like I can walk down the street, see somebody that's maybe limping or having a hard time, like crying or something, and just stand off in the corner and work on them. No, I need everyone's permission before working on them.
Right, absolutely. So we need permission. So once we have permission, and we'll actually be talking about the emotion code is actually for people and animals. And so while Helene and I mainly work with adults, we can also work with children. And that's where you have to get permission. Also, if we're going to work with an animal, we have to get permission from the owner. So that's very important. So once we've got that, Helena, we then need to be their proxy.
That's right, their proxy. So that is where they allow us to ask questions on their behalf, ask questions of their subconscious mind on their behalf.
And so when most of us do the emotion code sessions, I know that most of mine are in fact done by Skype, or sometimes I use Zoom. I have some clients that don't like to be seen, so I just do a lot on the telephone with them. And I know that that's generally, it's the way it's mostly done, but I know you as a hypnotherapist do actually have people come into your office as well. So they would be there, but you'll still do the muscle testing yourself as the proxy.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, and the next question that we want to find out from them, we're going to ask them this question is, what is the severity of the trapped emotion or the anxiety they're feeling? So it's from a 1 to 10. And usually we're looking for it where, Helena? At what range?
7, 8, 9, 10, something significant, because there needs to be some intense emotion around it. People say it's a 1 or a 2. That's maybe something that they really don't care about.
And then we do the muscle testing as well.
Yes. Yes, that's interesting. I'll have a client say, oh, it's about a 7, my cravings for donuts. And then I'll do the testing, because I'll ask the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind says, are you kidding? It's a 10.
Yeah, exactly. So we know that this is a new show, but we want to just give a shout out to Brooks Barlow for watching us today. And, we know it's going to take a little bit time to get this working for us, but we're excited that this is live and that we're also being able to help so many people with the emotion code. So the next thing that we're going to talk about in the key areas of doing it is actually muscle testing. So what does that look like? Do we keep raising the arm to do the muscle test, or how do we do it, Helena?
So many people, my clients, I ask them, are you familiar with muscle testing? And they're not. So, but often when I say, have you ever seen anybody hold out their arm and have another person press down on like this? And they're like, yeah, what's that all about? Well, that's one form of muscle testing, connecting with the subconscious mind to get a true and honest answer. It's like the body then can't lie. But what we like to do is I do a different form of muscle testing. So now that I've got a person's proxy and their permission, I do my muscle testing like this. I link my fingers together into 2 little circles, and I get I've made an agreement with my subconscious mind that when my fingers lock together and I try and pull them apart, and I'm pulling quite hard, that's a yes. And when it's a no, I just have to think about the word no, 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 no. My fingers just won't hold together, no. That's how I do it. Now, Dan, I think that you might do it with the finger.
Yeah, I use this method, and Dr. Bradley's got about 6 or 7 different methods in the book, but this works for me. It's a matter of testing, muscle testing, right? Because we are really tapping into that subconscious. This is where the proxy comes. Can I tap into your subconscious and find out what your muscles really want to tell me? And this has been tested, muscle testing. You can go to YouTube and look it out in so many videos, but I do mine like this. So this is a firm yes. So I'm going to first thing I ask, am I Dana? Am I Dana? Am I Dana? Am I Helena? No. So that's a no. I know right off. And you really don't have to apply heavy pressure at all. You can do it very, very lightly. So am I Dana? Am I Dana? Am I Helena? No. Am I Winnie the Pooh? No. So, just go ahead with that. All right. And the next step that we do is we need to go through I think I'll show the emotion code chart next, Helena.
Yes,
and you can just explain what this is. I'll just hold it up.
I've got mine here
Oh, good.
always
Okay.
as well. I keep one in my purse, my briefcase at home.
Yeah,
It's all
and I've
over the
actually got
place.
one on phone. You can get the app from Dr.
Ah,
Nelson as well. Yeah, so I've
very
got it.
good.
Yeah,
Very
so
good.
let's talk about that.
So the emotion code chart is a phenomenal tool, because what Dr. Bradley Nelson has done is identified 60 different emotions, negative emotions, because those are the ones that we want to find and release. And he's divided them up into 2 columns, A and B, and 6 rows, 1 through 6. And then what we do with muscle testings is ask for, is there a trapped emotion, and is it in column A or column B? And we'll get a yes answer where that is. And then is it an odd row or an even row? And then all of a sudden we've come to one particular cell with 5 different emotions. And from there we can ask which one of the 5 emotions it is. It's very quick, effective, and accurate.
Right. And then what we need to do, once that emotion comes up and surfaces in our subconscious, then we use our magnet.
That's right, our magnet. Where's my magnet? There's my magnet.
We've all got different magnets. Yeah, these are my magnets. I've got magnets with $100 bills. Oh, that's the same kind.
Oh,
You've got another round one too, right? Yeah,
yes.
I've got different ones. I've got one with a $100 bill on it when I'm working with someone that wants to work with finances. So what do we do with the magnet, Helena? What's that all about?
Hang on, let me just pull one out of my back pocket. There we go. What we do with the magnet is, once we've identified the trapped emotion from the emotion code chart, what happens is it goes from the physical body into the energetic body. And then what we can do is we can take a magnet and swipe over our head like this. Now, the reason we're swiping over our head like this is we are the governing meridian. There's in Chinese medicine, acupuncture, there's different energy meridians in the body, and there's one main one, and it starts here underneath the nose and goes all the way up to the to your top of your tailbone, and that's where it goes. And then so when the emotion comes out, it's energy. Everything is energy. So we take energy in the form of a magnet and cancel it and just wipe it away. And away it goes, dissipates, and it's gone. It's left the body, not to return.
Right. And actually, we should mention that not to return. So it's released from a certain time period in your life. You can actually have the same emotion. I know, Helena, you've had this happen, so have I, that the same one can come up in the same the same session, that when you're working with someone and they say, well, I thought we did. Well, it's released from that situation. And hello, Sylvia Bellini. How lovely to see you. She's going to watch the replay because some people are busy. Sylvia's in England, London, so we love that. She's a loyal watcher. Yeah, so you can have the same emotion come up several times. And what can happen as well over your life when you're not feeling well, and you're sad or depressed or whatever, these are trapped emotions that are in your body. So that energy can actually be as small as something like a lemon or as big as something like a cantaloupe. And, we work on things like migraines, back pains, neck pain. I was working on someone actually with allergies that had to use not Demerol, but some other very heavy duty medication every time they went someplace. And I worked with her, and she said, I haven't even used it on this trip. So allergies, all sorts of things, and we'll talk about those later. But I think it's so important to know that a trapped emotion can come up again, even if it is released during a session for a specific thing. And we can ask and test the subconscious, did it happen at a certain time, or what went on there?
Yeah, if we need it. Sometimes people are, we're just able to release a trapped emotion without any background information. And sometimes we need, the subconscious says,
Yes.
the conscious mind needs a little bit more information to just kind of process and release it.
Yeah, that's a really great point, Helena, because we will ask you what your age is, and we will work back from your age, and we can find things that are trapped from preconception to conception, and Dr. Bradley Nelson says it's mainly in the third trimester, all the way up until where you are right now in your life. So if you haven't released an emotion, chances are it's going to get triggered over and over and over in your life until it is actually removed. And sometimes we will find out that you have an inherited emotion. So what's that all about, Helena?
Oh, the inherited trapped emotion is so powerful to release, to find and then release, because what that is an emotion that was passed down at time of conception, either from your father or your mother's side. So your mother or your father may actually have had some trapped emotions that were passed down from them, from their parent or parents, so forth. And I know in the book, the Emotion Code book, that Dr. Bradley Nelson talks about multi-generational going back further.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I noticed is one time when I had an inherited trapped emotion release from my mother, my mom actually started to feel better about stuff. And so it's amazing because not only is the inherited trapped emotion released from the person we're working on, but the other people as well.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's really wonderful. And there's so many emotions that we have. I mean, Dr. Bradley's narrowed this down to 60 that are ones that we will work with over and over. But sometimes, when we're tapping into that subconscious, something else will come up that'll just kind of prompt us to ask another question and a different emotion come up. But as Helena has said, we don't really have to know the story behind it. Many times, if an age might come up, 6 or 7, and someone goes, well, I don't remember it. Whereas somebody else, I find people who are very intuitive are seem to remember things a lot more, and they can say, oh yeah, I remember what happened. But we're not really probing into that. We're not really, we're not like therapists. We're not really asking for the story. We just want to release that trapped emotion. And since we do work with people with all sorts of different types of chronic pain as well, hip or knee, back, but we're not medical doctors, so we don't take the place of that. So that's important that people realize that as well.
One of the couple other areas that I've had great success with the emotion code is food. Having people stop eating and drinking.
The cravings, yeah.
The cravings, yeah. The chips, the pop, the specialty coffees, and pasta, cookies. Very
and
specific.
I'm an almond croissant. I'm a reformed almond croissant. Mike, yeah, I know. I haven't. I think it was last June that Michael did a emotion code session with me on his program with almond croissants, because I used to love to have those with my sisters. Loved French bakery things. I have not had an almond croissant since then. So if you really want to and are prepared to get rid of a craving, then we will definitely be doing a show on that. But you got to be ready to get rid of it, because it's not going to come back, and you're going to wonder why whether it's that red licorice that you buy the bag of, or toffees or caramel twists or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you want to get rid of it, we will be able to do that for you. So I think, Helena, we're just about getting ready to wrap up. I'm very, very happy that everything went perfectly today. I'd set that intention as well. So do you want to just let people know when our regular show is and what we're doing? It'll be tomorrow, actually.
Yes, it's tomorrow. So our regular time slot is Wednesdays at 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. And tomorrow's topic is, drumroll please, relationship blues. That's right, relationship blues. You feeling a little bit down, a little bit frustrated, relationship in your life now, maybe it's your partner or your children or coworkers, or you're just feeling maybe a little lonely or so.
And it's Valentine's Day coming up.
Yeah, so we want to lift people's spirits and Dana, hey, what's our slogan? Um, our
Intention?
yeah, our
Our mission?
intention. Yeah, our mission. That's the
Yeah.
one.
Inspire, educate, heal, and release your trapped emotional and physical pain during the show. So we need you to
Right.
step up and let us know if you've got some relationship blues, because we will, if we don't have anybody coming up tomorrow, because we know this is a new show, which will be on every Wednesday at 9:30, yes, Pacific Standard Time. We will just do one on each other, or one of us will volunteer to do it. I mean, there's always,
There's always
relationships are, yeah,
there's
relationships are
always
big,
some.
right?
There seems to be always as you grow and as a person, as a human being, I think
Hmm.
one of the goals is to heal relationships, past and present, current relationships, just because life is so much more peaceful when we're feeling good about ourselves and the people in our lives.
So Helena, we'll just finish up with the last, the 7 keys, and that is always we want the practitioner to be hydrated, and it's good as well if you're getting a session that you're hydrated too. So talk about that, Helena.
Sure. So hydration is very important. Water is very important. Water, I know this from a long, long time ago, that the more water you drink, the better the thought processes seem
Mhm.
to be. It's because our body is made up so much of water, and electrical energy moves very rapidly through water. So that is why we want to have water. We want to make those connections physically and mentally, energetically, really well.
Right. And Brooke is just saying, can there be double dippers? Absolutely, there can
Yes.
be double dippers. So yeah, so we thank you for watching us today, and please share. And Helena, how can people get a hold of you to do an emotion code or hypnosis session with you?
Sure. So my website is flourishhypnosis.com.
All right, and mine is empoweredwomeninbusiness.com. And if you're looking for an emotion code, you can just add a little emotion hyphen code into that URL, as well as to Helena. So until next time, if you've got any questions or want to
Volunteer for tomorrow's
volunteer,
show.
yeah. So we are going to be talking, as I said, we're going to have a theme for each month. So February is going to be a bit more about relationships, and also relationships with, as Helena said, with work relationships. We're also going to be doing a heart wall session. If you're not familiar with what that is, stay tuned, because we'll be talking about it. And then in March, we're going to do a special show on women going through menopause. So this is probably not something the Emotion Code Bros talk about, but they could. We've got lots of great topics coming up. So that that's going to be a fun one to do, and we'll get rid of headaches and insomnia and all of that. So
And hot flashes. I got rid of my hot flashes, and I'm sure it was the emotion code.
yeah. Well, everything, right? Staying healthy isn't just about one thing. So, there's so much. That's why the law of attraction plays a role, your subconscious dealing with that, and also releasing some of these trapped emotions. All right. We look forward to seeing you for our next show, which will be back to the regular one, Wednesday mornings at 9:30 Pacific time. You can find us at um, facebook.com/TEC Divas. And you will not see any preview to the live show until we actually go live, and then you can click on that and join us then.
Well,
Thank you so much. Bye for now.
bye-bye.